Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Isaac, and I've been getting a lot of complaints that my pencil drawing tutorials have not been basic enough. So I decided to make a tutorial today about pencils, which is actually the most basic of all. So if you've never done any sort of pencil drawing whatsoever, this is the tutorial for you. Let me show you some of my pencils. Now this is one of my pencils. It's a 2B pencil, and I try to make sure I follow the same brand all through. This brand is Kimberly. So basically, the advantage of trying to buy the same brand of pencils all the time is that you then have the assurance that the shades are going to be different as written on the pencil label. So if you were to buy different brands of pencils, you will not be able to tell which is darker than which. Or you could have a brand say this is 8B and another brand will have that same shade for 5B. So in order to stick to consistent shades, just make sure to buy the same brands of pencil all through. Now before I talk about the pencils, I need to explain to you what a pencil number line looks like. Pencil number line basically starts with HB, and your HB is your middle shade, in the sense that it's not too hard and it's not too dark. So the H stands for hardness. That means those hard pencils are also very light. And the B stands for blackness, or you can also say the B stands for darkness. So when you go towards the right of the pencil drawing number line, you have pencils that are darker and softer. You observe that as you continue to use your pencils, you'll find out that your H pencils hardly ever get exhausted because they are hard. So no matter how much you sharpen them, you don't really exhaust them. But then your B pencils, you can use an 8B pencil like just a couple of times and then it's totally exhausted. So towards the left of the number line, you have your H, your 2H, your 3H, 4H, and it usually gets up to 9H. Basically, 9H is the lightest of all the pencils you can find. And you use your 4H pencil, or the pencils in the H region, you use them for sketching because they are actually very light for sketching and also for your grid lines. So when you need to apply grid lines, you make use of those very light pencils. And then your very dark pencils, you use them for shading your dark regions like your shadows and those pitch black areas of your drawing. But I do recommend when you are going to shade really dark shadows, make use of a charcoal pencil. And charcoal pencil is darker than any 8B pencil you can find. I personally use a 4B soft charcoal pencil. The brand here is Generals, so it's the best charcoal pencil I've got and I really like using it. So you can see how dark the shade a charcoal pencil can produce. It's terribly dark. It's beautiful, like it's lovely. So basically that's your pencil drawing number line. But okay, you should also know that you don't need to buy all the pencils you have. You don't need to buy so much pencils. You only need about 5 or 4 pencils. I basically don't use more than 5 pencils per drawing, and apart from pencils, I don't even use so much materials for drawing. blend with something easy. I don't know, all the materials I got, they are easy and straightforward. I want to try and explain to you why you only need a few pencils. And basically, I don't know exactly how I'm going to do this explanation, but I want to try and show you that in order to create a 3D or a realistic portrait or a realistic drawing, whatever drawing it is, what you need to be aware of is the shades, right? And you honestly don't need a whole range of pencils to achieve an even gradient of shades. Basically, you need a very dark pencil, and for a long time I didn't know how important it was to get the darkest pencil you could find. But then I realized that your work just becomes 10 times better when you use a charcoal pencil or a very, very dark graphite pencil. And then you also need a light pencil like a 9H pencil for your sketching and maybe for some highlight shades. Then in between, you just need to fill it with shades that are not too dark, maybe your 2B, 4B, and 6B as the case may be. Okay. So basically what I'm trying to show with this diagram is that you only need up to maybe 5 pencils to work with. Of course, you need your light pencils like your 9H. You need something you use for your base shades like your B pencil. Your 9H you need for the sketching, and your B you may need for the base shade. I'll explain that in future videos. And your very dark pencil you need for the shadows and basically any region that is really dark. Okay, your 9H pencil can also make use of it for your highlights, and anything in between like your 4B and your 6B can create the mid-tone shades. Your mid-tone shades is just every other place that is not highlight and is not shadow, and it's all about how you vary the pressure. So when you press the pencil into the paper, you get darker shades. When you apply lower pressure, you get your lighter shades. I have some other materials. Alright, that's all I want to talk about for today about pencils. Of course, there are more to know about pencils. In the next video, I want to talk about my blending materials, because I have some nice blending materials. I recently got this. This is a blending stump, just a set of 6 pieces blending stump, which I've not been using for a long time because I'm used to using my brush and tissue paper for blending. Also, the blending stump and the file go together. So the file basically you use to clean the blending stuff. And then I have my Tombow Mono Zero eraser, which I'm also buying for the first time because I've been using my normal eraser. Your normal eraser can actually do the same thing as a Tombow Mono Zero. Just cut it and get a sharp point, and then you can use it to create highlights and details, and it actually works fine. I hope to see you in the next video where we'll talk about the blending materials, and I'm really trying my best to take it very slow. You see, there's no portrait drawing here. I'm not drawing anything. I'm just being strict with the tutorials, and I want to cover as much ground as possible. If you have any question, please ask. I know I failed to talk about a lot of things, but your questions will trigger my memory to remember what to talk about. So please leave your questions in the comment section, and also subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. Click the notification icon to get notified on future uploads, and until next time, I'll see you again.